Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam She'akol Niyeh Bidvaro. It is undeniable. There is evil in this world. The bad things that happen. Maybe that is the composition of the world. There is something called a law, the second law of thermodynamics. I think it's called entropy. What does this entropy mean? It means that every system eventually goes into disorder. Order is imposed on a system, but eventually it dissipates little by little, and the end of the road for all systems are eventually disorder, chaos. This is actually what the Bible says. That in the beginning, the universe was tohu vavohu, was really chaos. And what God did was impose certain order. In a sense, if you take this order away, we are going to go back to tohu vavohu. There is no way of denying there is evil in this world. Why is there evil in this world? Maybe this is the way the world was made, and I don't know why. I don't know why. So should I delve into the reasons for the evil? Maybe I should. Maybe someday I will understand why that happens. In the meantime, what should I do? In the meantime, I should deal with the consequences. Here we have a pandemic. It is evil. I don't know how many people it has killed in the world, how many people have been infected. It disrupted everything. So what should I do? Look at the causes, why this happens in this world. I really don't know why it happens. From time to time, we suffer a pandemic. What I have to do actually is learn how to deal with the reality of a pandemic. And as a matter of fact, there are some very good outcomes from that too, because I have to study more. I have to understand nature more. Look at the way we developed vaccines for this pandemic. In other moments of history, we simply suffered. We didn't know what to do. But as time passes by, we learn how to confront these things. You know, the earthquakes. You know, there was a tremendous tragedy that happened. It is almost a year ago with a building in Miami. In a certain section of Miami, a whole building came down. Why that happened, structures, who knows why, but we have to deal with the consequences. There are some people that are still mourning to this day. It is almost a year, and they can't redo their lives. They lost a child, and they just cannot find peace for themselves. They can't get closure for it. Well, what we have to do is when something evil happens, we have to learn the consequences, and what we have to do is learn how to react to it, and eventually we become better human beings because we understand the world more. We understand ourselves more. What we have to learn is how to react. You know, suddenly somebody goes into a school and kills people, kills children. Why? We don't know why. Why did somebody do that? Whom should I complain to? God, why did you create that person that way? Maybe we should look at it differently, and we should ask ourselves, what brings people to do something like that? Understand better human makeup, human psychology, human emotions, so that eventually we can improve that and eventually grow better. In other words, illnesses, why they exist, I don't know. But I know what the consequences are, and I have to try to learn how to combat them. When I fight an illness, I have to turn to understanding the human being better. And the better I understand him, the better I will be able to overcome any danger that appears in the world. Maybe that is part of the composition of the world. Challenges at all times. Rabbi Soloveitchik says that we have a covenant of destiny. We live in this world and we have to accept the way the world is. But we also have a covenant, a different covenant. We have a goal in our lives that we want to make this world better. God created the world in 6 days, but He left it imperfect. He left it incomplete. It is our job, it is our task to complete that. Maybe tasks, evil, are part of that composition of the world. The world is incomplete. we have to try to complete it. Of course, we won't be able to do everything, but each generation has to make its contribution in making this world a more hospitable place, a more livable place. Each generation has to give us new understanding as to what are the drives that bring a human being in order to destroy another human being. Each generation has to bring about a greater level of education to understand not only ourselves, but the universe in which we were created.